Hey, what's up everyone? Ryan Custer here at the Key Water Sports. Today's video is going to be about how to actually fit a backplate. Even though in this video I'm going to be using X-Deep's NX plate, awesome setup by the way, I'm going to actually show you how to walk through from the shoulders to the crotch, the waist, the D-ring placement, not only on your shoulder but also on your hip. Okay. Again, I'm using the NX plate, but this is applicable to any backplate setup. We're also going to dispel some of the myths and theories out there about what needs to be tight, what doesn't. Hint, hint, your shoulders don't need to be tight at all. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. So I've pre-configured this harness already for me, even though this is going to a customer. They just happen to be the same size, so it's a good starting point for when they come in. So first and foremost, tightness of the shoulders. You do not need tight shoulders. If you're putting your harness on and it's stuck like this, and you can't even put your hand into it, they're too tight. You do not need tight shoulders at all. Stability in a backplate actually comes from your shoulder blades when we're resting in the water, because we're horizontal. If we pull our shoulders back, that allows us to arch our back, and then we create this gap here. It is an unnatural position. With that being said, also, don't dive like this, or that stupid Superman pose, because all that's doing is causing you to throw your shoulders back. So it's not uncommon for somebody to say, oh, it feels like my shoulder strap's slipping off. Well, newsflash for you. If you're in a nice relaxed position, they can't go anywhere. So how tight should your shoulders actually be? Easy way to do this. This works for men and women. For women that actually have breast implants and larger chest, then you'll want to put your hands pretty much where your pectoral muscle is, not on top of the implant or the heavier fatty portion, whatever. So nonetheless, take your hands, slide them under your harness like this, on top of your pec muscle, keep your thumbs down, make a fist, and rotate 90 degrees, okay? You should easily be able to do this. However, when I go to pull off, I can't. My fist is still stuck to my chest, but it's not extremely tight. This allows complete mobility all the way up to my dry suit in warm water. If you're diving heavier undergarments, then make them even looser than that. But if you're in your natural position again, and you're struggling to get your hands under, or it's tight even like this, loosen your shoulders. Now, don't cut brand new webbing until you go for a dive. Number one issue I see coming into the shop is somebody already cuts the webbing way too short, so when they need to lengthen the shoulders, it pulls on the waist, and now there's not enough, so we have to redo the entire harness. Now, so again, put it in, make a fist, rotate 90 degrees, and it should be nice and stuck. Now you'll notice the top of the plate, because I don't have the waist done or the crotch, it's kind of sticking up. That's okay. I'm gonna drop my right hand, and I can still touch the top of the plate. When I take my other hand out, you'll see that the plate drops down. Also, perfectly fine, because when we're diving, you'll notice that if I cross here, the plate comes up. I also have gravity to contend with at the surface. Underwater, all of this will slide forward, ever so slightly, okay? 3 mil, 5 mil, dry suit, works all the same. Now, for our crotch strap, take your hand, your pinky, grab the crotch, okay? Your index finger should be resting at your belly button in a nice relaxed position. Here's my belly button, okay? See the indentation in the shirt. In a relaxed position, this is where our crotch should be located. When we're diving and we pick our feet up, that allows you to actually elongate your crotch even more, okay? So it will ride up ever so slightly. Your plate will get stuck to your back at that point. So when we think about our entire system, stability actually comes from here, your crotch strap. Not your waist, not your shoulders, but honestly it comes from the crotch strap. And if you don't believe me, go for a dive, get a nice horizontal trim, pull your shoulders off under your waist and just hold the crotch strap, and you'll see that everything stays nice and flat. So again, we're going to take our pinky, put it into the top of the loop, 3 fingers up to our belly button right here. Now, for our waist, if you're diving in a side mount configuration, you'll often see the buckle is sitting low but dead center. For back mount, what we want to do is make sure the buckle clears the crotch to the other side. In older days, before we used other buckles and secured the light canister to the harness and then attached a piece of bungee to the plate, you could actually use the buckle all the way on this side to hold the light canister in place. I prefer a piece of bungee. Now, for where the waist goes across, you want the waist running. You got basically your hip right here. The top of your hip is your iliac crest. You want your waist harness to run below your iliac crest and above your actual joint, okay? So, oops, look at that, I twisted. Normal harnesses come with about 15 feet of webbing. Me specifically, I only need about 11, but like I said, don't cut your harness too short until you actually get everything measured. Go for a dive, we'll talk about where to trim it after that, okay? So I'm just gonna leave this hanging from here. So in a nice relaxed position, I can actually raise my shoulders and I can bring the plate up and it's still right here. As you can see, I'm touching. Very important for a set of doubles, if you have difficulty reaching your manifold. You can pick your shoulders up, rotate them, and grab them. If I need to send them back a little bit further, if I feel like the manifold's hitting me here, I can rotate backward, and now the plate has dropped even further, okay? For those with a shoulder mobility issue, don't reach back here like this. Come and just go straight at a 90, okay? Basically, take your palm, you're gonna high five your back. And then you'll be able to find not only the plate, but your valves, okay? Last but not least, we have the hip placement of this D-ring. Backside of the armpit, coming straight down, will hit your tri-glide. That's a good optimal position, so when we have our SPG clipped off and we're in a horizontal position, then that extra couple inches isn't dragging and getting caught on rocks or wherever you're diving, isn't getting caught. Oftentimes, I'll actually pull it just a little bit further back, but it's a good starting point to figure out just exactly where you need it to be. If you know you're going to be carrying deco bottles and AL40s and things like that, then I always add a second D-ring right here, just to the left of the crotch strap, so when the cylinder starts becoming floaty, you can unclip from the rear, clip to the front, and it pulls it down. So kind of a quick overview for the shoulders when everything's fit. Hands in, rotate 90 degrees, and here you go with everything done. The back plate's riding in a perfect position. I can take my hand out, find the plate each and every time. I can cross my arms over and I have plenty of space. This sits nice and flush, but I can still move it ever so slightly. So I'm set up for a variety of environments. Hip, directly in line with the backside of my armpit. Crotch, in a relaxed position, 3 fingers below my navel. And last but not least, we have our D-rings at the top. Since we don't want to adjust those first, because the shoulders themselves, you may end up tightening or loosening, so the position does change. So now that we have this good location, the easiest way to keep this in mind is to put your tri-glide on top of your clavicle, or I should say in line with the clavicle. That way, when our arm comes out, we come across, the D-ring moves up and out of the way. If it's too low, we come across, and now we have this shoulder impingement where we're trapping the D-ring here, and we're literally just digging into our muscle. So from both sides, I can come across, and the D-rings move up and out of the way. I can also bend my arm at 90 degrees and simply clip in. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to send us a message. If you need help setting up your harness from the very beginning, check out the link below. We'll go ahead and put the how-to and assembly guide in there. Otherwise, if you want to go diving, let us know that as well, and we'll be happy to jump in the water with you. With that, take care.